It's a rapper versus a professional wrestler, with my new pal Bayn taking on my other new pal Brian Breaker in questions on Will Ferrell movies and 90s cartoons. This is Trivia with Buds. It be. And welcome to another episode of the Trivia with Buds podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Budds. I'm a trivia host at live events all around Southern California, and I'm so excited and glad that you decided to listen to this show around the holidays. Or maybe you're listening way into the future or way into the past somehow. That would be interesting, huh? Some kind of time-traveling podcast experiment. That'd be kind of a lame way to spend your time traveling. You're like, I'm going to go back and listen to podcasts that haven't existed yet. But hey, whatever floats your boat. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and I hope you had a great Christmas. This episode's being posted on the day after Christmas 2017, and I hope you got everything that your little heart desired. I know I did. I got a 70s, early 80s Andre the Giant afro wearing figure. It's a pretty awesome, authentic looking elite WWE collector's figure from my wife for Christmas. That was very cool. I had a lot of fun buying presents for my kids. I have a month-old son and I have a 3-year-old daughter, and she got some Nerf guns this year, so she had a lot of fun with those. She was asking nonstop for a pink ring, so we got her a wearable pink ring, of course, and then I spray painted one of her wrestling rings pink. So she got 2 pink rings and loved that. And I got a cool thing that I had never seen before. It's wall Scrabble. So I thought I would recommend that to listeners of this show, especially if you're a wordsmith or you like playing Scrabble or Words with Friends. It's like a magnetic version of the game that you hang on the wall and all the tiles stick to it. And you can play casually like in the kitchen as weeks go on. So it's kind of just like whenever, it's my turn. You just run up and pick your letters, make your word, and it's all hanging on little racks that are facing the other way so people can't see your tiles. It's pretty cool. It's a really clever, well-made game if you like Scrabble. So those were my presents that I gave and got, and it was a fun holiday season at the Buds household, especially with the new baby. So much fun. We went over to my grandma's on Christmas Eve, and we had Christmas Day at my house, and got a lot of good stuff. I always get some great presents from my in-laws, and on Christmas night, I got a Batman pocket watch, which is something I never thought I would actually own. But you tell an in-law one time, one thing you're into, and for 13 years, they buy you Batman stuff, which I am not ungrateful for, except for the 6 Batman wallets that I have piled up that I've never used. But yeah, it was a fun holiday season. It's not even over yet. 2017 still has another week or so left, so we'll see what 2018 holds. I'll probably do a year in review episode next week. I don't know who the guest will be, but we did that last year. It was tons of fun. So we'll talk all about 2017. We had a lot of celebrity deaths in 2016, so it was kind of a morbid episode. Maybe this one will be a little bit more uplifting, but sometimes you watch the news and 2017 seems like the craziest year yet. So who knows? We'll see what that episode's all about next week. I also have some great episodes in the bank with really cool trivia host named Phil Farda from upstate New York, and he'll be talking about stage time trivia and what he does over there towards the East Coast. And then I have my friend Randy Washington, who's a longtime listener and avid trivia player at live events, who will be on another episode doing some giant robot trivia. So get ready for that. That's a little couple one-on-one episodes. And then a bunch more to record in early 2018 here. Speaking of new things coming around the start of the year, I have 2 new trivia locations you got to check out. One of them is in Glendale, California at Jewel City Bowl, and that starts the first Thursday in January 2018. Jewel City Bowl, it'll be Thursday nights, 8 to 10 p.m., and that's their college bowling night. So it should be a really fun bar, bowling, college atmosphere. If you're looking for something to do near Glendale on Thursdays in 2018. Also, RT Rogers, a brand new brewery in Sierra Madre, California, will be hosting me as well on Thursday nights, starting the second week of January. So get ready for that. If you like a nice brew near Sierra Madre, right off of the 210 Expressway, stop in and say hello on a Thursday night. I'll be kind of jumping between both those places, and I'll have somebody else in my place when I'm not there at either place. TriviaWithBuds.com for tons more info. And remember, if you like this show, go back and listen to some of our past episodes. We have some really good ones, including an episode about how to start a trivia night, which I've been getting a lot of good feedback on. I think it's episode 70, and you can go back and listen to me and Jim Fields really hashing it out about how to get that going. There's not too much more I have to say. I do want to plug a couple reviews that I got recently. So on this podcast, we have about 79 reviews, and most of them are super positive, but I do want to kind of point out the negative ones to kind of let people know what other listeners think of the show, because sometimes people don't read the reviews. So here's one really bad one. This is my first 1-star review. I thought I would share it. It says, wow, wow, wow. And this is from Blue Meanie Face on Wednesday of this past week. It says 11 minutes to get to introducing your guest. There's only one person who gets away with that. And we got bored with him 3 years ago. Awkward, awkward, awkward. Please help us out. We want to listen. 1 star. So that is from Blue Meanie Face. And to counteract that, here's another one from someone named Matt Rancher, who posted it just 2 days later. It says, great fun and somewhat addicting. 5 stars. I'm a daily podcast listener, and this podcast has found its way into my daily queue. I started by listening to episodes with titles I'm interested in, and now I'm working on the backlog. Quite entertaining if you are a trivia nut like myself. Keep up the good work, buds. So thank you very much, Matt Rancher, and thank you, Blue Meanie Face, for your constructive criticism. I'm not sure who the one person that got away with a trivia podcast 3 years ago was. That was kind of vague. And I will work on getting to the guests quicker. We did it in about 6 minutes on this episode. So there you go, Blue Meanie Face. And Matt Rancher, send me an email, ryanbudds@gmail.com. I will send you something nice. Without any further ado, we're going to dive into this episode. Thank you for listening. Thank you for telling a friend. And here we go with my friends Brian Breaker and Bayn talking about Will Ferrell movies and 90s cartoon trivia. Boom! Sitting here in my house, in my man cave. I got all my wrestling stuff on a wall behind me. I'm not facing it, which makes me kind of mad. I should have switched seats in this booth. But speaking of wrestling, I have 2 huge wrestling fans and one actual wrestler. I believe one of you is a wrestler. Maybe both of you are. On the show today, Breaker and Bayn from the Breaker and Bayn Power Hour, which is a podcast that comes out every Sunday. How are you guys doing?
We are doing very well, man.
Very good, very good.
I'm Breaker, of course. I am the pro wrestler, and Bayn here is the hip hop guy.
Yeah, I'm not a wrestler.
Not a wrestler. Have you ever thought about it, Bayn? You ever thought about getting in the ring?
I have gotten in the ring to train a little bit. It didn't last very long, though. It's a lot harder than it seems.
I bet, right?
He did let me chop him one time, which was one of my favorite things ever.
You know what I think the hardest thing to do would be for me is to, I don't know how they time such hard kicks to the face where you're not actually, affecting someone's face. You know what I mean?
That's the hard part. A lot of people don't realize that there's a lot of little things that go into making a match good, where it's, very physical looking, but both guys can basically walk away with all their teeth and without their lips cut open. So it's a tough business for sure. It's really damn impressive. And Breaker, you've wrestled with NXT, you've wrestled in New Japan, you've done a lot of stuff. You and I are about the same age, both 32. So I'd like to think that in some parallel universe, I could have lived part of your life as a wrestler. It's an interesting life, People ask me about it all the time, and I've been all over the place. It's a lot of fun though, but I'm 32 now, like you said, so I'm realizing things are much different than when you're 22, and nothing hurts. But,
of course. Now, how early did you start wrestling?
I started at 21. That's when I officially broke in. So I was actually a little later than most people. They start about 18 or so, but I was a little bit later. But I trained with Harley Race, who's a WWE Hall of Famer. so I got good training right out of the gate and was able to make a lot of good connections out of that. So it's been a good time.
Amazing. And where do you guys call home? Do you guys live by each other?
We do. We live here in kind of on the outskirts of Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Ah, Oklahoma.
Not a lot happening out here. Our biggest claim to fame, I'd say, is the Outsiders movie filmed here. Back in I think before we were born.
We got Bill Goldberg.
We do have. Well, he doesn't even claim us. It's Atlanta.
We still got him.
that's all we got.
He doesn't claim you guys that he doesn't claim that he was born there.
If you hear his announced hometown, it's Atlanta, Georgia. So,
Atlanta got him. Very good. And Bayn, tell me a little bit about your career as a rapper and a podcaster. What have you been doing for longer, podcasting or rapping?
I'm rapping. I've been doing hip hop and rap for about 6 years now, and I mean, haven't had nearly the accolades the Breaker has had as far as the music career goes.
Sure.
My music career is really taking off. Not at all.
But yeah. But it's a lot of fun, man. Like I said, I've been doing it for about 6 years now. So
is there a pretty big hip hop community like to do live shows and stuff in Oklahoma where you guys live?
Yes and no. It's very much or at least I've been out of it for about 6 to 8 months now. So I don't really know how it is now. But when I was really heavy doing the live shows, it was very much like your high school cliques.
Oh yeah. And
if you weren't buddies with the cool guys, you didn't really get in. It's an elite.
Very good. And what is there a certain type of thing, maybe somebody you can compare yourself to, or the type of the content you're rapping about? Is it all stuff like personal stuff? Is it kind of like more funny stuff? Like what's your kind of background or style?
I'm very much on the comedy side. I don't really delve into the private life type of thing, just because I like to keep it fun, and I find really personal rap and hip hop is very depressing to me.
Sure, the angry rap never. It can get you going sometimes, but I think the funny stuff is a lot more entertaining.
Yeah, and that's what I try to do. Like this most recent album that I put out is like completely wrestling. That's all I talk about.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, and so it's just to make people laugh and have a good time.
And where can people find that album, and what's the name of it?
It's called Bayn's World. You can find it basically anywhere you stream your music, on iTunes or Spotify, just really wherever. If
there is a song, what's a song maybe I can insert right here on this podcast that people could check out before we get going?
Mark Music would be the song.
That's what I would pick as well. It's my favorite of that album.
All right.
It's literally just a Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, let's take a minute and listen to Mark Music from Bayn's World.
Yeah. One more time. It ain't over till I say it's over. So lock the cage up, cause this is a takeover. The wait's over. If this the final time we meet, then you'll be on your back on my feet. Then I'll tip the cage over as a hangover. I'm super fly so I can splash off the top, and I can shut down the shop. Like Randy Savage, I'm the cream of the crop, and I'm always gonna rise to the top. People's champ like The Rock. I do not give a fuck, so let that shit drop. Man, I'm so over. So tell your girl to get under, cause I'll hit her with the nitro before she go bit of thunder. Then tell your man to back down, cause I'll hit your girl raw, then lay the smack down on that pump. Feel like I'm Russo on the road, the way I'm swerving. I know this ain't what you expected, like a PG show with twerking. I'm looking at you, New Day. Shame. So let me kick it like I'm Snitsky, because it wasn't my fault if you miss me. I've only had 1 beer. What? 2 beers. What? 3 beers. What? I shouldn't even be this tipsy. You think you know me, but I'm on the edge. And I ain't talking out snow when I say that I am trying not to lose my head. Now let me chill before I sound like Sid.
You know and I know that you're only half the man that I am. And I have half the brain that you do.
Oh, the hell with it. I'm gonna lie, cheat, and steal my way to the top. Then act loco like I'm Saturn in love with a mop. I got that bounce like I'm Boogeyman with a bad poppin' lock, and I'm gonna make that clock stop. tick-tock, I walk around like Zack Ryder, what's up, bro? But then I get on the mic with more of a Dr. Death flow. Cause I'll leave you choked out, passed out, knocked out. Too much to handle, I'll be wildin' now. Looking like Mojo Riley with an attitude a little bit more like Polly. Dangerously, I got that Heyman hustle from Suplex City, buster. And I'm on the cusp of greatness. And I'll leave your face purple like you drank a cup of grape juice. Never saying I just Triple H you.
Like I buried you. Like Triple H buried you. I don't know.
Man, I'm feeling this too sweet. There ain't no competition. If there was, I'd hit delete. Delete, delete, delete. You're obsolete. I'm testifying Devon and they all believe. I got a trick up my sleeve, but no Fantasio, man. This shit is such a breeze. No Fandango. I got that fire like Bam Bam Bigelow, and I'm about to holler the Godfather for a hacksaw. Oh. So once again, welcome to the show. Will it ever stop, DB? No, no, no. So many times they told me to quit, but I'm like, yo, the mix with Cena. How that tune do I kick? And I'm the bad guy, Razor Ramon, but I'll curse at you quick. And I ain't talking Papa Shango, but you gon' feel every hit. The king of strong style, you feel every kick. You are not welcome here. I keep it close-knit with my clique. No tugboat, but I run this shit. That line was shocking, I know, cause I'm the shock master when I trip. And I'm tripping right now. So I'm gonna take my Shinsuke Nakamura bow and GTF out. Oh, man. Ladies and gentlemen, peace easy.
All right, very cool. That was good stuff. If you want to find more about Bayn's world and Bayn's rap career, check out anywhere you can stream music. Bayn, is there like a website or is there somewhere people can go?
We do have our website, breakerandbayn.com.
Perfect. Love it. Very good. A wrestler, a rapper, and a true showdown here. I should give a shout out to the fully posable wrestling boys, the Tunes, Jeff and Scott, who have become good friends of mine in the podcast world. They've been on the show, and they recommended you guys as amazing guests. So I know that you've been on their show and vice versa and things.
They are like our first podcast buddies, I guess.
Yeah,
we did their show. They've done our show. It's just been a lot of fun, and we were completely different sides of the United States there, but like being able to connect with those guys has been a lot of fun. Yeah, they're really like genuinely good dudes, and like they came to my house and like brought gifts, and you know it was like they're just really good dudes. So shout out to them. Yeah, and that sounds like them. They're just really thoughtful, really nice guys. Yeah, if you like, and even if you don't collect or watch wrestling or collect action figures, you would still like their show. Like that's hard to say for such a niche kind of a show, but it's just a really entertaining, fun show to listen to. You know. We actually plug that a lot when we do our podcast. I'm like, even if you guys aren't into wrestling figures, you know, I'm sure at some point if you were into wrestling, you like the toys. But even if you don't, check out their show. It's a fun listen. Now, are you guys both big wrestling action figure collectors? Do you have a big collection between the two of you or separately? Off and on, we have both been. I like the new retro Mattel Hasbro style figures. Yeah. We're both like avidly trying to find those. Sure. Have you been able to find? As far as the new stuff, have you been able to find Series 2 or 3 in Oklahoma? Well, believe it or not, I actually recently found all of Series 2. Oh, nice. Purchased Sting and hid the rest of them in the store. So there you go. I have. Hoping they don't go away. I have The Rock and Triple H in Austin, so I'm halfway there. There you go, man. And they're hard to find. It's really becoming a challenge. I've seen the other 3, but they were. It looked like someone had digested them. Like, I mean, they were destroyed. The Kane, you couldn't even tell it was Kane. It was so messed up, the box and the card. So, so I'm still looking for those 3. And then I'm also trying to convince myself to not buy stuff for myself around the holidays. So it's kind of tough. Yes, that's the hardest part. Absolutely. That's the hardest part. Well, now that we know a little bit about you guys, we'll talk about some categories you guys are into. So I always ask my guests, what are 5 things you're into? So we're going to start with Bayn's categories. Of course, the very first one, this makes sense. Bayn, your category, rap and hip-hop. Yes. Who are some of your biggest inspirations as a rapper yourself? Well, I think obviously I'm a huge Eminem fan. Yeah.
New album just dropped yesterday, not as this recording, but a couple weeks ago probably. Did you hear that yet at all?
What is it?
The brand new Eminem album?
I haven't had a chance to listen to it all the way. I have heard a couple songs, and it's not my favorite album, but it's growing on me.
Yeah, I listened to about half of it, and it's impressive as always, but I don't know if it's one I'm going to repeat over and over.
Yeah, exactly.
Very good. Your next topic, Lucha Underground. Have you guys ever been to a taping? Do you guys come to LA a lot?
I've actually never been to LA.
I've been once, but that was many years ago, so no, I have not.
Even as a wrestler, not a lot of wrestling around here?
No, I haven't really done a lot of traveling in the last few years. I would like to in 2018 and try to expand and get to other places, but as of yet, no, I have not.
Very good. Yeah, Lucha Underground, super fun show. I have not gone to a taping myself, but I have tons of friends who have. I had a friend who was like the writer's assistant on that show.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a really fun show to watch, and I haven't. I think I've only seen probably like maybe 6 episodes in total. Like I need to go and watch all of them, especially since it's so easy to do because there's only 13 like a season. It's not like it's not like a Raw or something like that.
Yeah, they definitely take season breaks. I think this last season though had about like 33 episodes.
Oh wow, okay. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm way off on the number there. But maybe the first season was like a smaller number. But that's cool.
I think it was.
Yeah, that's a very fun show to watch on the El Rey network. Your next topic was, I think I scribbled it really quick. I think it was Family Guy. Was that your next topic?
Probably.
Family Guy.
That sounds about right.
What's a favorite episode or character for Family Guy?
Oh, I definitely love, Stewie and Brian. They're my favorites on there. My favorite episode is always there's this episode called Steroids. Where it's Stewie on steroids, and it's just the funniest thing to me. Oh,
yeah. Are you still like a current fan, or were you more into it when it was really popular in the mid-2000s?
I'm a current fan still. It's definitely not as funny as it was.
Yeah.
But I think that's with every show. It gets less funny as it goes on.
Of course, yeah. And that show is coming up on, almost 20 years probably, right?
Oh, yeah. It's getting close.
That's crazy. And I can't believe Simpsons is on 30 coming up.
Yeah, it's wild.
Older. The Simpsons is older than my youngest sister who had kids.
Oh, man.
That's insane to me.
Yeah. And how about this? Disney owns The Simpsons now.
Do they?
Yeah.
They do,
with the Fox.
Yeah, Disney bought Fox. So I read a big blog of everything that they acquired. And it's a lot of stuff that you don't even think about. It's a lot of classic movies and series and things. So it's the big ones like, Simpsons. And then there's like a bunch of other stuff like, the whole Ice Age series, like the animated movies Ice Age and Die Hard and Home Alone, like all those sequels, that's like 15 movies right there just from those 3 things. So it's going to change a lot of stuff. We'll see what happens. Your next topic, Chris Farley. That's a good one. We've actually done that on the show. We had an episode called Chris Farley versus Netflix. For the title.
Nice.
So it was a really fun one, but you never know. I might choose it again. There's lots of material for old Chris Farley. I want to hear, Bayn and Breaker, your favorite Farley SNL sketch. What do you think it is?
For me, it's got to be Matt Foley, motivational speaker.
Yeah, there you go.
Matt Foley's definitely a great one. I'm also a big fan, and I can't remember the name, but it's the guy who always, when he did the air quotes on the news show.
Bennett Bauer, right?
Yeah, Bennett Bauer.
Bennett Bauer, maybe?
That's a good pull. I wouldn't have pulled that name. I love the Chippendales. The Chippendales scene, which everybody loves. And my wife and I, we just watched it recently. There's really not that much that happens in the entire scene. Like, it's so weird, the things that you go like, oh man, that's so classic, or that's so great, and you go back and watch it, and you're like, well, I guess maybe it's really just funny that he's dancing in the scene. Like, there's not a lot of jokes, is what I'm trying to say. Like, in that sketch, it's almost just like, put him out there in the Chippendales thing, and it'll be funny. You know what I mean? Which is great. I love Chris Farley. R.I.P. Your last topic, another SNL guy, Will Ferrell movies.
Yes.
I want to hear the worst Will Ferrell movie in your opinion.
There's been a lot of bad ones.
There has been a lot of bad ones. I would say the worst one for me is the Semi-Pro.
Oh yeah, the basketball one.
Yeah, I just didn't care for it.
There was a lot of lead up to that one where it was like, oh, he's Will Ferrell's taking on basketball. It's the 70s. This is going to be really funny, and it is kind of a clunker. I have 2 older brothers, and they rewatch a lot of movies over and over again. So like, My brother Tom's like, oh man, like it really clicked the fourth time I watched it. Now I think it's really funny. But yeah, it's probably hit or miss on most of those jokes in that movie. But yeah, Semi-Pro. Do you have a least favorite one, Breaker?
Semi-Pro would actually have been one of the ones I went with, but I'm gonna go with Kicking and Screaming. I felt like that one should have been way better than it was. Not that it was terrible; it just could have been a lot better.
I'm with you. I remember renting that and being like, not so good. All right, so those are your 5 topics. We're going to choose for you one of those topics, Bayn. I'll tell you what it is in just a minute. We're going to move on to Breaker's topics. Breaker, here are your 5 things. Now, this one matches perfectly with what you do. The first topic you gave me, 90s WWF.
Absolutely.
Which was, I think, the very second episode of this show ever. We're on episode 70-something, and we did Seinfeld versus 90s WWE. And the guy that picked 90s WWE actually had no idea of any of the questions, so it was kind of a weird episode to start off with.
I know a lot of useless wrestling trivia, so I'm hoping that one comes into play there.
Oh, you never know if a nice Bastion Booger question will appear on this show. 90s WWF. Your next one was the movie Ready to Rumble.
Ready to Rumble, possibly my favorite guilty pleasure movie.
Sure.
It's wrong on so many levels, but so right at the same time.
David Arquette was the WCW champion at one time.
He was. And had that not happened, I think people would have looked at Ready to Rumble better.
Yeah.
If you think of it.
Sure. I actually have never seen the movie, and do you think I would get anything out of it watching it now in 2017 going on 18?
There's a couple of one-liners that I think would make you laugh.
Would I love it as a wrestling fan?
There's a montage at the end of the movie of just like 18 or 19 like low blows in a row.
Yeah.
Which, so there's some it's useless humor, but if you put it in the same time as like it came out around like American Pie and Road Trip, and if you put it in there with those type of movies, you're like, okay, this is late 90s comedy. I'm good.
Sure. Now, would I like it as a wrestling fan? Are there enough cameos and in-ring stuff where I'm like, oh, this is entertaining?
It's probably, you probably would as a wrestling fan, because it is all completely circle around WCW rather, and there's a lot of elements of it that make no sense. That you tell the writers didn't really know much about wrestling. Yeah, but it's kind of a cool companion piece, because it's like, hey, I like wrestling. This is a wrestling movie, so it's ridiculous, but if you kind of take your brain away for a second, you can probably enjoy it.
Love it. Your next topic was The Office. Love The Office. Have you seen every episode?
I have seen every episode multiple times.
Oh, there you go.
One of my favorite things is to get on Netflix and just watch that whole series. I love The Office. A
lot of wrestlers seem to like The Office from something I just watched. I know Kevin Owens said he's like, oh, I just watched The Office over and over again. Like that's one of his favorite things to do, like in hotel rooms.
Yes.
And somebody else too, and it made me go, oh, wrestlers like The Office. But yeah, it's I had never seen, I think, the last 3 seasons. So I'm almost at the very end of Michael's last season, which is really funny. And then I know the show kind of goes downwards from there.
It's certainly not the same after that, but it's also one of those things where I think they were able to keep a lot of people on because they fell in love with the show.
Yeah, definitely.
But once Michael leaves, you're certainly like, yeah, this isn't the same. This isn't what I used to like.
Sure. Speaking of stuff you used to like, 90s cartoons. That's a great category. Give me a couple of your favorites.
Oh, well, I think my all-time favorite's got to be Batman the Animated Series. I know Bane's a big fan of that as well.
Bane is a character on Batman the Animated Series as well.
Yes, he was. Although I don't think he would do too well to break Batman's back. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Maybe 90-year-old Batman.
Somebody should go. Batman Beyond, Somebody who's a big fan of your show should take animated, like animated portions of Bane from Batman the Animated Series and put your raps over his mouth moving.
Oh, that's a great idea.
There's a nice fan project for a nice little holiday project for somebody to do. That's a nice thing.
I just got to get fans.
That's step 1, right?
There you go. All right, your next topic after 90s cartoons, and the last topic was comic book movies. Comic book movies. Yes. We actually just did that on the show just a few weeks ago, and it was a big hit. But again, you never know. There's lots of comic book movies, lots of content there. Are you excited for Deadpool 2?
I'm very excited for Deadpool. I love the first one, and now with like you said, we talked a little bit about Disney and Fox kind of merging. That this could be a a really cool thing. So, who knows what's going to happen with all these movies now. So I'm definitely looking forward to it.
I did read that they said that Deadpool 2 would definitely remain R, which is good, even under a Disney umbrella.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm excited about that. I remember seeing Deadpool on Valentine's Day or that weekend or whatever it was with my wife and a guy from work and his girlfriend, and he was really excited about it. And I'm like, I don't really know much about Deadpool. And I was so like, oh, man, this movie was great.
I think anyone that didn't know anything about it probably became an instant fan the second that they saw that movie.
I am with you. Okay, cool. So we got 5 topics from each of you. We learned a lot about what you guys are into, and now we're going to pick one of those topics for each of you. Bayn, your topic is Will Ferrell movies.
Tweet.
And Breaker, your topic is 90s cartoons.
Yes, all right.
It's Will Ferrell movies and 90s cartoons. This is the Trivia Showdown. All right, guys, we have to have a buzz-in word, 1 or 2 syllables, something that is funny between the two of you that you're going to buzz in with. You got to wait for the whole question to be read, and then you're going to use this word to buzz in to answer. You get 1 point when you get your topic's question right, and you get 2 points if you get the other guy's topic right before they do or after they miss it. You get 1 guess at each question, and that's how it goes down. What's a fun word for you to buzz in with?
I think we're going to go with Eric Barker.
Okay.
Who is this guy that we call out pretty much every episode of our podcast?
Sounds good. All right. So when you want to buzz in, you got to say the name Eric Barker. Okay.
All
and
right.
We're going to start with Bayn's topic first, Will Ferrell movies, and then we'll hop over to 90s cartoons and we'll alternate back and forth. Here we go. This is the Trivia Showdown.
Trivia Showdown.
Question number 1 for Will Ferrell movies. Now, this first one is going to be a real button masher. A little buzzer beater because we just talked about it. So let's see who can answer it first. Buzzing in with Eric Barker. Number 1, what Will Ferrell movie is about soccer?
Eric Barker.
Damn it.
Kicking and Screaming.
It is Kicking and Screaming. That was Bayn, correct?
Yes.
Bayn, 1 point on the board. That was your topic. Have you seen that movie multiple times or just the one-time viewing?
I actually own that movie. I actually really liked it.
Oh.
That's one of our constant debates. I'm like, it's not that good, man.
Very good. Dick is in it. Isn't he the other soccer coach in it or something like that? Mike Ditka?
Yeah, was it Mike Dickus? Is that who it was?
I think so.
Or Terry Bradshaw. Maybe it's one of those two, I think. All right, there's 1 point on the board. We're jumping over to Breaker's topic of 90s cartoons. You buzzing in with Eric Barker. Either of you can answer all these questions. Here's number 1. What color hat did Wacko wear on Animaniacs?
Eric Barker. He wore a red hat.
A red hat. Was that Breaker?
That was me, yes.
All right, very good. 1 point for Breaker. It's 1-1. Were you guys big Animaniacs fans?
I have a Wacko pop vinyl, so yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Animaniacs fan.
I like, they had a really good Sega and Super Nintendo game where you had to the 3 of them each had their own little ability and you had to get through challenges by using each ability. Kind of like the Lost Vikings, if you've ever played that game. Very similar mechanics. Here's question number 2 for Will Ferrell. What is Will's character's first name in Step Brothers?
Eric Barker.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Brennan.
It is Brennan. That was Breaker, correct?
Yes, that's me.
That's 2 points because you stole that because that was
Stole it.
That was Bayn's category of Will Ferrell. So it's 3-1. And Bayn, did you have any idea about that one?
I had a brain fart. I thought of it right as soon as he said Eric Barker.
There you go. Eric Barker screwing you again. Here's number 2.
That's all he does.
Number 2 for 90s cartoons. What year did the show Tiny Toons debut?
Eric Barker.
Yes.
1992.
That is incorrect. Bayn, do you have a guess?
93.
Incorrect. It was 1990, actually. It was the very beginning of the decade.
My second choice would have been 91, so I was way off.
Yeah, just a couple years off. You guys were right in the right realm. No points there. It's still 3-1 Breaker, up by 2 points against Bayn. Let's see if their friendship and podcast stays together by the end of this thing. Here is number 3 for Will Ferrell movies. What is Will Ferrell's nickname in the film Old School?
Eric Barker.
Damn it.
Bayn.
The Tank. Frank the Tank.
Frank the Tank is exactly right, and that's 2 points. Sorry, that's your second point. You got 1 point. That's your category of Will Ferrell movies, so it is 2-3. Getting a little
I'm still winning.
A little bit closer. Yes. Breaker still winning by 1 point. Frank the Tank. Here comes number 3 for 90s cartoons. Freakazoid was a cartoon that aired on what network?
Oh, my God. Eric
Barker. Bayn.
Cartoon Network.
Incorrect.
What? No, I'm going to say that was the WB.
I'm going to look it up because I had Fox down, but now I got to look it up real quick because I'm like, maybe it was the WB. Hold on 1 second.
I know it was a WB cartoon.
Maybe you're right.
But I swear it was on Cartoon Network.
You are right, 100%. It was the WB. So,
yeah,
Breaker.
It was in the same market of like Animaniacs and Pinky and the Brain.
There you go. So Breaker with his 4th point. Very good job correcting me on my own trivia, which happens more often than you would think as a trivia host. All right. Here's question number 4 for Will Ferrell movies. What year did Elf come out?
Eric Barker.
Bayn.
2010?
2010, incorrect. Any guesses, Breaker?
I'm going to say 2003.
It is exactly 2003.
What?
Boom!
And
It's that old?
It's that old,
Yeah.
and it's
old as shit, man.
15 years old in 2018. And Breaker got 2 points there for stealing a Will Ferrell question. Elf, I saw it with my girlfriend junior year of high school. That's how I remember that. All right, here we go. This is number... Let me see, we're on number 4 for 90s cartoons. Who played Mario in the live-action portion of the Super Mario Brothers Super Show?
Eric Barker.
Breaker.
I believe that was Captain Lou Albano.
And that is correct. That is your 7th point. It's 7-2. Bayn, you need some points to bounce back, but you got a lot of chances to do so. Did you guys watch that cartoon? If you go back and watch it now, it's it's pretty bad. But,
yeah, it's not good. I remember as a kid thinking that this is the greatest thing ever, but it is not good.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, here's number 5 for Will Ferrell. What city does Will Ferrell's movie Anchorman take place in?
Eric Barker.
Breaker.
San Diego.
San Diego, and that's 2 more points. Unfortunately, Bayn, it's 9-2. You got to start stealing some of these 90s cartoons questions. Are you a big 90s cartoon guy?
Well, kind of, but I knew going into this that I was going to be horrible at this.
I also knew he would be horrible, so that was kind of good for me.
Very good. I'm glad you both signed off on it. All right, this is number 5 for 90s cartoons. On the cartoon, Doug, what is Doug's last name?
Eric Barker.
Bayn.
It's funny.
Doug Funny, and that's 2 points because he stole it from Breaker, so it's 4-9, just like that. A little bounce back for Bayn. Nice job.
Oh, yeah.
Number 6 for Will Ferrell movies. Who starred with Ferrell in a movie called The Other Guys?
Eric Barker.
Breaker.
That would be Mark Wahlberg.
That's right, and that's 2 more points, which makes it 11-4. 11-4 right now. Question number 6 for 90s cartoons. What color dress did Angelica wear on Rugrats?
Eric Barker.
Breaker.
Purple, I want to say.
It is purple. 100% correct. 12 points. 12-4. Beaten Bayn by a little bit. Question number 7 for Will Ferrell movies. In the movie The House, what do Will and Amy Poehler open in their basement? Number
Barker.
7. Yes.
A box.
That would be an interesting movie. They just open a box in the basement. Incorrect. Any other guesses? Was that Bayn who guessed?
Yeah.
Okay, so Breaker.
Honestly, I have no idea.
It's a movie that just came out. It was a comedy that nobody saw. And they open a casino.
Apparently not us either.
Yeah, casino in the basement to pay for their daughter's college or something like that.
Oh my God! Now I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, it was. I think it's already on video. It did not make a lot of money in theaters. I heard it's kind of funny, but probably funny in the semi-pro way. You know.
Yeah.
All right. No points there. That was the first one. Nobody answered for a while. This is question number 7 for 90s cartoons. What Nicktoon takes place in the town of O-Town? What Nicktoon takes place in O-Town? Nickelodeon.
Eric Barker.
Yes.
Is it Recess?
It is not Recess. Any other guesses?
I'm going to say Rocket Power.
Not Rocket Power, but you were so close. It was Rocco's Modern Life. Rocco. So you had Rocket, Rocco, very close. No points there. 2 questions in a row with no points. The score is 12-4. Bayn still has some chances to steal some points and get back with these 90s cartoons, but back to Will Ferrell. Number 8. In what movie is Will constantly hearing a narrator narrating his life?
Eric Barker.
Bayn.
Stranger Than Fiction?
That's right, and that is your 5th point there, Bayn. Nice job. Stranger Than Fiction. I was actually an extra in this movie in 2004.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got
cool.
They filmed it in Chicago, and somehow I got hooked up with an agency that did extra work, and me and my friend Steve Nelson, my oldest friend, we went down there, and it was Will Ferrell pushing through a big crowd of people like outside of a huge office building, and there were probably like 300 extras. It was a huge amount of people, so we kept kind of trying to time it so we'd be walking right in front of him, so he had to push us out of the way so we were going to be in the shot. But they did it like 75 times. So I was like, I don't know if we're in there. But you can see us in the movie in 2 scenes really quickly, which is cool. And it's a really good movie. I like that movie quite a bit.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah,
really unique. It doesn't get enough attention, I feel like, that movie. Here is question number 8 for 90s cartoons. What show in the 90s had a teacher named Miss Frizzle? What cartoon in the 90s had a teacher? Yes.
Is that one Recess?
That one is not Recess, but that is a really good guess, and it's very close.
I'm going to say the Magic School Bus.
Okay. The Magic School Bus is 100% correct. And that was that Breaker who got that?
That was me, yes.
And that is the 13 point for Breaker. Nice job. My wife handed me a note, which, as you guys, that's why I had a pause there. It says, Dad canceled coming over, running to Walmart and Costco. Love you. So I just wanted to share that with the audience in case people
you need to write on that note back, look for wrestling figures. Hand it back to her.
Yeah. Can you look for Mankind or Kane without a mangled card? That's what I'm looking for. That'll be a text message I send as soon as we're done here. All right. So we are almost done with our 20 questions here. We're back to number 9 for Will Ferrell movies. What 2005 movie is based on an old TV show? What Will Ferrell movie from 2005?
Eric Parker.
I'm going to say Bayn.
Bewitched.
It is Bewitched, and that is his 6th point. It is 13-6, and here comes number 9 for 90s cartoons. I wrote this one really quick. Oh, here it is. What show from the 90s, what show's slogan was, Gotta catch 'em all?
Eric Parker.
Damn it.
Bayn.
Pokemon.
It was Pokemon, and that's 2 points. So Bayn, just like that, 8-13. Now it's just a 5-point game, and you could totally come back and win this thing. Here's question number 10. This is the very last Will Ferrell question for the Will Ferrell side. Who starred in a movie with Will Ferrell in 1999 called Superstar?
Eric Parker.
Bayn.
Molly Shannon.
Molly Shannon for his 9th point. Bayn, kicking ass at the very end there. If you can steal this last one before Breaker, you'll have a really good chance of winning. We got a couple more things to do, including our combo question and a game called Categories with Buds. Here's number 10 for 90s cartoons, the last 90s cartoons question. Who did the voice of Bobby on a show called Bobby's World?
Eric Parker.
Breaker.
That was Howie Mandel.
That is correct. Howie Mandel for 14 points. So right now the score is 14-9. How'd you guys feel about the first 20 questions?
They were not easy at all. Like, there were some doozies in there.
Yeah, you guys did pretty good though. I mean, that's a pretty good score. I've had way lower scores. Actually, on an episode where we did some Office trivia from the show The Office, the girl, my friend Grace, told me that was something she'd be good at, and she knew almost nothing except that Jim and Pam became a couple. Like anything else, she was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. She didn't know like who Toby was or anything like that. So we've had lower scoring ones. You guys kick some ass, and we're going to move on to our second round. The second round is just one question. It's called the combo question.
Combo question.
And it combines both things of both topics today of 90s cartoons and Will Ferrell. So here we go. This is the combo question. Okay, you guys are ready? You're buzzing in with Eric Barker. It's just one question worth 2 points. Here we go. For 2 points, what 90s cartoon in 1997 did Will Ferrell do the voice of a bouncer on? It's a 90s cartoon from 1997. You can take your time before you buzz in because it is kind of obscure, but it's a 90s show. He did a bouncer's voice, one episode. I'll give you a hint. It is a Nicktoon, and it's a Nicktoon that we have not mentioned yet. Think about a show where there might be a bouncer, I guess, if that helps you at all. 90s, 1997, bouncer, Nicktoon. Will Ferrell. What was that Nicktoon? 2 points if you get it.
Eric Barker.
Was that?
I'm going to take a wild guess on this and say, Hey Arnold.
Hey Arnold is a great guess, but it's incorrect. It was not Hey Arnold. I did just have the creator of Hey Arnold, Craig Bartlett, on the podcast a few months back, so check that out if you want to hear some fun trivia with him and him talking about bringing the show back after 15 years. Craig Bartlett, a few episodes back. And Breaker, do you have a guess?
I'm going to take another stab in the dark and say SpongeBob SquarePants.
SpongeBob SquarePants. Another great guess. Also incorrect. The answer, Angry Beavers. Remember that show?
Oh, man.
Very specific show. Kind of a show people probably forget quite a bit. So no points there. No points there. It's still 14-9. We have one more thing to do for 3 points. So it unfortunately looks like Breaker will be the winner no matter what. But Bayn, you can get some sympathy points back here and to get a little bit closer to Breaker's score. So this last thing we're going to do is called Categories with Buds.
Categories with Buds.
It's unrelated to the categories we've done so far. We're going to go around in a circle and name stuff from a certain category, and I'm going to play with you guys. So, for example, in episodes past, we've done things like names of magazines or names of state capitals and things like that. But today, because you guys are wrestling fans, we're going to do the names of tag teams, which I think we've done maybe one time before, or maybe we haven't done it in 75 episodes. But we'll see how it goes. This is Categories with Buds. We're playing tag teams. I'll go first, then we'll go Breaker, then Bayn, then back to me. You have like 5 seconds to answer, and we all have to have heard of the tag team. Okay? So my first one will be the Powers of Pain.
I'm going to go with the Hart Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
The Rockers.
I will go with the Godwins.
The Road Warriors.
Demolition.
I will go with, could you say Degeneration X, like Triple H, Shawn Michaels? Is that a tag team?
I think that works.
Okay, all right.
I'll go with the Killer Bees.
Mm-hmm.
The Steiner Brothers.
Kane and X-Pac.
The Midnight Express.
Mm-hmm.
Techno Team 2000.
Oh, yeah, I remember those guys. I am going to go with the Smoking Guns.
I'm going to go with the New Rockers.
Ginger and O'Hare.
The New Age Outlaws.
Ooh. Chronic.
I'm blanking. I'm totally blanking on this.
5 seconds.
Oh, my God.
I think
Men on a Mission.
What was Men on a Mission? I'll take it. That's good. I'm going to say, I just had one. A Public Enemy.
Harlem Heat.
Oh, God. I'm totally blanking. I can't think of it anymore.
All right, Bane's Eliminated, Donomy and Breaker, the Dudley Boys.
The Headbangers.
The Head Shrinkers.
Doug Furness and Phil LaFawn.
The Acolytes.
Draws and Prince Albert.
Oh, yeah, Draws and Prince Albert. The Pierce tag team. The Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose.
Too Cool.
The Bar.
The Hollywood Blondes.
Oh, that's good. The Steiner Brothers.
Doom.
Oh, my God. The Authors of Pain.
Oh, that's a good one. DIY.
The Revival. This is getting tough. I didn't think I had this many in my head.
It is very tough.
I may be looking at a wall of figures behind me, but I don't have a lot of tag teams.
Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov.
The Bushwhackers.
The Rougeau Brothers.
The Quebecers.
The Enforcers.
Money Incorporated.
The Patriots.
Oh, shit. The British Bulldogs.
Stars and Stripes.
Kane and Daniel Bryan.
Pretty Wonderful.
The Natural Disasters.
The Nasty Boys.
Crime Time.
The Blue Bloods.
You got me. Breaker, you kicked the ass. I got no more. That's 3 more points, giving you a total of 17 points to 9 points for Bayn, and of course 0 points for me. But great job, you guys. Thanks for doing the show. Did you have a good time?
This was a lot of fun, man. I enjoyed it.
Very cool. Thank you so much for doing the show, and I hope you have a good holiday season here with you and your families, wherever you're at. And where can people find you? What do you guys want to plug before you take off?
Well, of course, we've got Breaker and Bayn's Power Hour. Drops every Sunday. You can find it on iTunes, Podcast Republic, I believe, or on breakerandbayn.com. I have a T-shirt store on prowrestlingtees.com/Brian Breaker. I have a new shirt, actually, that has me looking like a Hasbro figure, which I think is probably the coolest thing ever.
Oh, I love it. That's very cool. Someone needs to do that for me, even though I'm not a wrestler.
Sam Roberts did one, so yeah, absolutely.
I love it. Very good. And are you wrestling anywhere people can see you, like around Oklahoma?
I'm wrestling for Compound Pro Wrestling right now, and I've wrestled for Harley Race's World League Wrestling in the past. I'm probably going to be going back there a lot more in 2018 and hoping to kind of branch out past the Midwest a little bit into other places.
Very cool.
Follow me on Twitter at Brian Breaker ODR, and you can see everything I'm doing.
Love it. And Bayn, where can people find you on social media?
I think you find me at big_Bayn.
Okay.
And that's for Twitter and Instagram. So yeah.
Very good. And check out that album, Bayn's World, streaming everywhere where you can listen to fun music. Guys, thanks so much for doing the show, and I'll talk to you again soon.
All right, appreciate it, man. It's a lot of fun.
There it is, a fun contest with Breaker and Bayn. Check out their weekly podcast. It is tons of fun. I believe it comes out on Sundays. Breaker and Bayn, my two buddies, my wrestling buddies, huh? That's kind of fun. My wrestling and rap buddies. You don't have too many of those, and I'm glad to call them friends. If you like what I do, you can check out more stuff at triviawithbuds.com. You can book a party. You can see a live event. You can get rounds to host your own trivia night. Maybe you want to do like an in-home party, but you don't want to, fly me out to Oklahoma to do it. Bayn, you can just get my questions, and I'll set up a really fun night for you. That's all available at triviawithbuds.com. If you like this show, rate, review, subscribe to it for new episodes every single Tuesday morning. And we have those 79 reviews. Keep leaving the reviews, and I will keep reading them on the show. I hope you had a great holiday, and I hope you have a lot of fun stuff coming your way towards the end of the year here. I hope you have a great New Year's Eve party planned, and I hope you're ready for a ton more trivia fun in 2018. We've been doing a lot of live streams on Facebook, so if you like that kind of thing, it's usually me and my daughter, me and my wife, and we're kind of just BSing, talking about some fun stuff and asking some trivia questions, and you can find all of those on facebook.com/ryanbudds, also on facebook.com/triviawithbuds. Give that page a like for all kinds of updates and weekly fun stuff. That's about all for me. I'm so thankful for you guys listening to the show and for the feedback and for all the fun we have on a microphone. Thanks for listening to Trivia with Buds, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.